talking about the tech company, from the tech company's point of view, uh, when you work towards growth and that starts happening, there are two things: increased user demand and maintaining the performance or the quality of it. How do you drive this, or how do you keep this going?
So, as a company, see, I'll tell you what we do. We are B2B, right? But having said that, we are extremely focused on support. So we have 20, 15% of our team is focused on support, right? 15 to 20%. And because what we've learned is in India, people don't want tools, they want solutions. Very clearly. So they want things to be done. They don't want
Don't
them
tell
to
me how to
don't
do
tell
it.
me how to do it, do it for me.
Do it for
Exactly.
me.
So at the end, no matter what software I give, right, the software in a way is to reduce my service cost. Think of it from that perspective, right? And this is what actually even I've been telling people in the US, this is the BPO 3.0 or whatever way you say, right? Which is product plus services exports, right?
Right.
So no one, I mean, no developed economy will be able to match my manpower rates, right?
Yeah.
Now they might have better tools, but I can provide a better solution,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I can put a human there for the interaction, for doing things that the tool might not be able to at
Able
the end
to.
of the day,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So we are very focused on support, and I think that that's true for a lot of startups. A lot of startups, except some of the B2C guys who are extremely focused on just growth. A lot of the startups in the country are focused on support because providing support in this country is cheap,
Yeah.
right? Because you have to have manpower, right? And you can afford to do that because of the cost of cost of resources here. Sorry, does that answer your question? Or I mean,
No, I got the gist of it. But how was scaling in that sense? Tackling the user demands and still maintaining the performance.
so obviously, there is you scale, then you get complaints, then you fix that, and then you scale some more, and you repeat this. It's never there's never a point of time where you realize, okay, no, I've figured out them. There's no magic formula, right? There's always going to be this tussle between the two sides, and at one point, okay, now say I've scaled X, my user complaints are up. Now I will scale my support. Now I overscale my support, right? User complaints go significantly down so that I can handle say 50% more. But then I end up scaling 80% more. So then I have to scale support again. So that's a cycle that keeps going on, right? And but obviously, as time goes, now we've figured out, see, this is the anticipated demand, so now I will have to hire this. So there comes a point where the delta is never that much, right? And yeah, I mean, that's about it. But what we've realized is people want real human support. Indians don't read docs. They don't care about chatbots. They need a guy to pick up the phone
Phone and
and
do it,
solve
yeah.
this query. No email and we'll
I was
get
just
back to
gonna
you in
ask
24
which
hours.
model of
Phone.
support.
We have done unscalable
Tele-support.
things. Unscalable. We have probably 500-700 WhatsApp groups, right? This is not scalable. If you look at traditional, if you say tech scalable, this is not scalable, right? But if you see, if I have 200 support guys and each one of them is in 5 groups, it is very scalable, right? And they get answers right then and there, right? They don't even have to call me. So from that perspective, it is extremely scalable. So and you have to do certain things that don't scale for customer satisfaction. And this actually really helps customer satisfaction, right? Because say I'm working with a brand, 50 of his employees are on that WhatsApp group. Anyone has a problem, they write something, my guy replies, and it's done for, right? So I think, and no one in India uses email, yeah. I mean, a lot of companies, typical SaaS companies from Bangalore, we've seen a lot of 20 from 9 to 5 will provide support on email. अरे रेस्टोरेंट सुबह 5 बजे खुला है यार मतलब क्या करूँगा 9 to 5 if my billing stops I'll not be able to give bill to my customers so essentially my restaurant is closed.
Yeah.
Right, this model of servicing especially in our industry does not work. You need 24/7 365 support.
Okay, very generic question, but as a growth hacker, how do you balance innovation and scale?
So I mean, can you elaborate a little bit?
While scaling, how do you decide the direction of that expansion? That, okay, this is the area or this is the direction that we need to innovate and then scale.
Okay. So we've so I'll tell you the journey of, not journey, but we've launched 2 new products, right? One product came off as, okay, this is what we can build. Okay, what we built is very good. Okay, now let's build a product around this, right? So the innovation in hardware came about first, and then we said, okay, no, this is too good, and we can make a product on top of it. The other one came up from a problem. Oh, this is a customer problem. How do we solve it? And then we started building that product, right? So it can come from any side. It can be from what your core competence as a company is, and you build something that then you find a solution for, right? Or it can be that, no, okay, I have a problem and then I build a solution for it. So it could be either ways. But otherwise, I mean, scaling obviously has its own set of challenges. There are products that don't work out. There are imperatives that you need to do because people have come to expect a certain level of things from your brand. Like, I can't launch an MVP today. A minimum viable product is not viable for my customers because as a mature company, people expect that my product at least does X, Y, and Z. So my MVP becomes very stretched out, right?
Yeah.
And this is the problem actually all companies as they grow big face, because one is obviously bureaucracy, right? And as much as you keep saying lateral hierarchy and all of that, bureaucracy does creep in, right? Everyone tries to minimize it, but it does happen. You're seeing it at scale at Google and Facebook and all these guys, right? But it does creep in.
I think it's human nature.
It's just human nature. It's Chinese whispers. Yeah, you're going through 5 levels. Each one adds their own thing, and each one adds a day to it to tell the other person, right? So that just happens. Yeah.